J. Philip Pig, imagine playing these games in real life. You need to go to a restaurant and ask for a table for 8 just so you can fit the battle line all the way across. It's very true.
Indeed.
So I think we shall we do josemmb97 and slogan for our top table here?
Let's go for it. The 2 4-0s. Oh, it's a mirror match as well.
Oh goodness, that'll be interesting. I hope. Let's see here, slogans. There. Robin Fox asking, I play the 5 round. Yeah, if you've got a pairing. Let's see.
You should have.
Oh, unless there's a buy, if we've had enough people drop that there's an odd number.
Oh, yes, there might be. Yes, there might be.
You might have a buy, Robin Fox. Happens to all of us.
Yeah, that's what's happened. You've got the buy.
So plus 10 points to josemmb97 here, correctly parsing the flavor of Nature's Call, which is hilarious.
I like it.
See, and this is Hodak the Bookish versus Hodak the Bookish for 2 people undefeated with them. Let's see. Important in this matchup when they're against each other. Let's see.
Ooh, so this
is Val Jericho's
4 binate ruptures technically. This is all with brainstem.
Yeah, lots of binate rupture. Yep. Brainstem antenna will be big. Based on what we saw earlier, we saw the double battle fleet go off really well, because when you have that entire Martian team in your hand, you can drop the disintegrator or whatever you need to and just do as much stuff as you want to with brainstem antenna.
Mm-hmm.
So I think double battle fleeting, if somebody can double battle fleet first, they'll be in a pretty good position. Although really for the biggest effect with Felix, you want them to have Amber at first. I don't really think there's a lot of there's no taunt really to hide that Ether Spider behind. Yeah, this will be an interesting mirror match. The standardized testing being really the only board control. A Quixel Stone coming out could make things real interesting.
Yeah, it's will either of them go for the Quixel Stone?
Some friendly banter between slogans and josemmb97 here. Excellent. European matchup here. UK and Spain.
Awesome.
Love it. Love it. And I think I can't quite make it out from here, but it looks like Slogans has a sweet Keyforge logo, maybe for a local Keyforge team as their icon. I can't quite parse it. If anybody knows what that team is, feel free to toss that in chat.
There you go for Queen and Country.
It's Batman. Oh, Slogans is yes. I was looking at josemmb97's. Forgive me if I misspoke there. All right, here we go. We've got Slogans on the turn 1 play. Keyforge Grenadier. Nice.
2 Manchester Mavericks.
Yossum noting they've faced 2 Manchester Mavericks today. Lovely.
I know Ollie's one of them. I'm not sure who the other one is.
Yossum with a mulligan. Without, see what they open up with. Eureka is always a nice opener. Oh, yep, and there it is. Always a great player one, turn one opener there. Captain Val Jericho coming straight out with a lab work, archiving a card, subject Kirby. Nice amount of speed there. Can turn that Val Jericho right back on with another creature from another house. That'll be lovely. Oh, lots of Manchester Mavericks today. Lovely.
Oh,
Very
nice.
good. Very good. Slogans going into... Oh, and a Binate Rupture to go straight up to 6 Amber.
Nice.
Very nice. Sloppy
Good
lab
start.
work for the speed. Discarding Red Alert. What else is in Slogan's hand if they're discarding a Red Alert? Titan Librarian to turn Val Jericho back on from Yosem here. Commander Chan being the off-house creature. Igor coming down will let Yosem sort through their couple of cards. Got to pick pretty quickly. Discards a standardized testing. Drops the Director of ZYX and Archimedes. Another sloppy lab work. Both players playing pretty fast here. Yosem racing ahead on board. Slogans getting that first key very quickly here. Let's see if they can keep up the speed and the momentum against Yosem's large board with the Val Jericho in the middle and so much archiving. There's a Director of ZYX and a Titan Librarian on the board. That's a deadly combination. That's archiving for free, 2 cards a turn. Oof. But of course, it is far, far from over. So we'll see what Slogans has here.
Slogans has their own Titan Librarian and Igor.
Very nice. Looking at the top 3 cards. Pitching a Martians Make Bad Allies and a Grabber Jammer.
Oh.
Dropping an Archimedes. Excuse me. You reaping with the Archimedes that was already there.
Oh, there goes.
It was a standardized
testing
test.
board
Turns off the Titan Librarian. Doesn't quite take out the Chan or the Director. Yosem's turn now. Their board advantage killed off a bit. A few things went into archives, which is nice. And their own Binate Rupture. Up to 9 Amber check for their first key. Slogans at 4 Amber going into their 4th turn. Both players in relatively equal situations with the board state fluctuating. That was a great standardized testing from Slogans to ensure that board didn't get out of control. Excuse me. Lay of the Land. Drawing a card off of the Lay of the Land. Getting up to 5 Amber so far. Subject Kirby. Getting an off-house creature and a Quetzalstone.
There it is.
Which will shut down Yosem's playing any creatures. Which keeps that Titan Librarian turned off. Discarding Demo Alien so that they don't allow Yosem to play a 4th creature, especially on the other side of Titan Librarian. Mm-hmm. Smart play there. If Slogans can't have a Titan Librarian, no one can. No one can. That's the rule.
Seems like a
That's
fair
the rule. They still have the Director of ZYX, though, and that is now a 7-card archives, which is pretty good. Even if it's a mixed archives, you've got plenty of stuff hanging out in there. Yes, I'm forging that key. No Amber taken on the previous turn. Thinking about house selection here. Where will they go? Also, very little artifact control in any of these decks. Very little artifact control. All right, picking up that archives. 13-card hand. Here we go. You might see the double battle fleet. As we have literally seen... We've seen a single Mars card discarded. With 11 cards left, I'm going to guess there's plenty of Mars in that hand.
All of the Mars.
And this would be a great turn. Yeah, this is actually, if Yosem is going to be able to do draw into everything they need for the Felix the Disintegrator Brainstem Nintendo turn, this is a great time to do it with their archives big. They can they'll get at least 2 amber off the battle fleet. If they can get at least 1 more off of the Brainstem Nintendo Reefs and some other things, they'll get to check for their second key, and they will just drain Slogan's bank account completely. So, see what they do here. Oh, okay. Starting off with a Shatterstorm.
Interesting.
Very cool. Love Shatterstorm. Lose all your amber. Your opponent loses triple that amber. Which Yosem was at 3, Slogans was at 7. It's possible that both battle fleets are in the draw pile, which I would anticipate is the case given the order of operations from Yosem here. Enough damage to totally just empty Slogan side of the board. Showing off. Yeah, and not showing off any of the... That's just not a very fortunate draw for Yosem to have both of those battle fleets in the last 11 cards there.
Do you have this
Brainstem
antenna?
Yeah. So they can get a few reaps out of an Ether Spider or something. Honestly, it might still be a good idea to drop it on the Disintegrator. Well, actually, no, you'd probably only need to use it once on a future turn. Oh, Quixel. Thank you, Mortivus. I'm here commentating like Quixel doesn't exist. Thank you for the reminder. This is why I commentate games. Yeah, so everything I was talking about there, that's why they were thinking more the Shatterstorm was the effective... Shatterstorm was the way to just drain all that amber and even it up. Yeah. Getting 3 amber off of the Martians make bad allies. Oh, okay, so no battle fleets. Only getting up to 5 amber here. Slogans at 0 amber, 1 key. Yeah, so that Quixel Stone really saving Slogans from a worse fate here from an online Mars board. And it's not like there were enough creatures on Slogan's side for Yosem to really take advantage of that before the orbital bombardment.
Yes, and the Quixel Stone, of course, preventing there being more creatures.
Yeah. So Ether Spider feels like a great call here. They got a reap out of the Director. Ether Spider will prove a problem until Slogans can dedicate enough budget enough strength from his creatures to slam into it there. Just 2 plays, Subject Kirby, crewman Yorg. Is the turn for Slogans. Doesn't feel great. Doesn't feel great. At least there's some amber control in crewman Yorg. But josemmb97 is from Spain. I bet their name is Jose.
That makes a lot of sense.
Maybe I can just say Jose and not have to say josemmb97 every single time, like a madman.
I mean, you can. You can carry on if you like. But you're probably right.
Yeah. Some thoughts from Jose of Keyforge Granada here.
Go in Logos.
Eureka. Great play, getting them well on to check for their next key. Well on to check. Thinking about their next move. Glancing at their pile. We have seen quite a bit of logos so far. Reaping with the Director. And that's it. All right, up to 9. Slogans straight into Mars. Picking up their archives. So they know their house they want to do now. Just waiting on the sequencing. Battle fleet. Aha. Here we go. This is the turn that Jose wanted 2 turns ago.
Yes.
Yeah, there it is. Revealing. Yep, there's the second battle fleet. Drawing the rest of their deck at least 6 cards. They might have drawn more Mars, so we're going to see at least 6 cards. There is going to be that discard pile flip.
Oof,
Christmas Land situation. Yeah, there's that Magic Christmas Land situation where Slogans just redrew into in the 4 cards from the new deck. Redrew into the battle fleet.
Now with 21 cards to play with.
Yes. Most of the time on this turn will be spent tediously clicking all the little edges of the cards for Orbital Bombardment at this point. In a 21 card hand. The Orbital Bombardment going first, it looks like Slogans is not going to be playing more creatures. Unless they Orbital Bombard their own creatures so that they can play
different creatures.
Different creatures.
That would be certainly valid.
That would be pretty sweet. Let's see what they do. A lot of options. So 7 instances of 2 damage. We've got 14 damage. That's enough to wipe either side of the board.
Or good chunks of both, even.
Yeah. Okay, just the enemy creatures and Slogans artifacts. So we'll just give them the benefit of the doubt here and assume they know what they're doing. Okay, Shatterstorm. Yep. Exactly what Jose did to him. Brainstem antenna onto the Titan Librarian. Not going to be able to drop any Mars creatures to really make use of that. Quicksil Stone definitely slowing this match down, making the players have to pick very deliberately what they do around that Quicksil Stone. So over to Jose. Now we have reverted to 1 key 0 amber for both players.
And there's the other Quicksil Stone. Just in
Quicksil
case.
Stone for an amber. Red alert to really just Quicksil the hell out of this match.
There. The board is clear.
Good New Frontiers grabbing Battlefleet and Grabber Jammer. Great New Frontiers. Board is clear. Man. 2 lonely Quicksil Stones. What happens now? Is this the board state where Keyforge actually has a real tie? or you just say game's over, it's a tie. The only things in play are 2 Quicksil Stones. Yes, one of these players will walk out of here 5-0.
And
they will not.
On that subject, Osram Talaka just has reported their results, and it is a win, so we will have a final, it seems.
Fantastic. We have not been graced with a true final.
We haven't, no.
Before. Slogans playing Val Jericho, who's now in the center of the battle line. Lab work off of the Val Jericho play. New Frontiers. Still a giant hand here. Seeing any Mars off of their New Frontiers pick. Forging an Alliance, definitely not doing anything. And that's turn. Just a few amber. A few cards, a few amber. We are humble players of Keyforge here. Slogans versus Jose matchup. More lay of the land. Rearranging, drawing. So what's the out here?
I don't know if somebody's noticed, but these decks are unbalanced compared to the impossible decks that are holding the top of the tournament.
They're,
Well, this
nobody
is the
had
top of the
really done
tournament.
yeah. I suspect that certain decks would rise to the top, paired with good players, of course. Slogans and Jose piloting Hodak pretty well here. Well, the players discuss some reordering. I'm trying to think of what the out is for either player in this mirror match, because there's no artifact destruction. So these Quixel Stones are staying. A lot of the tricks are creature based, like Kirby, Brainstem, Antenna. I would say Slogans definitely has an incremental advantage for having Val Jericho in the center of the line, and Jose is not really going to have much of a way to move her. Binate Rupture, yeah, and which of course right now neither player, not really any. There's not really any Amber control in Logos, and you'd need to Binate Rupture and then take them off. So yeah, I think it's gonna be holding Binate Rupture. I think, yeah. So Mortivus getting me on the right track here. I think the winner is going to be the one who holds Binate Rupture, although I know at least one of them is listening.
Yeah, and just a little bit of a pause in the game here. It looks like Jose has had a misclick, but unfortunately, it's really difficult for Slogans to know what Jose has seen because it doesn't let us know and it doesn't let him know. So he's more than justified to say no to the take back in this instance, I would say. I'm just clarifying that in the chat as well because I'm not sure Jose is actually listening.
I think if we do see one of those Binate Rupture plays, there's just Shatterstorm is the only answer. So a Binate Rupture, once you've seen your opponent's Shatterstorm, once you can spot it. Jose still has theirs somewhere. Slogans, theirs is in the discard pile. All right, looks like we're all good. Big thanks to both players for being great sports there. Love to see it. Love to see it. So thank you both so much if you're listening. That's what we like to see.
Indeed.
Oh, I give Jose one out of game amber for that great attitude. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and we always see, well, we often see good sportsmanship in these games, and I do like to see that continue. And as I said, it's very justified in this scenario because of the online nature of it. There's no way for you to know what your opponent's seen, and and I'm not saying that they would necessarily do this, but they could choose anything from the deck, and you wouldn't know. Mm-hmm. So it's totally justified.
Yep. Jose with some very friendly trash talk there, saying comeback is easy, so no problem. Love it. Slogans with a smile. Great. I love it.
I'm glad they think so.
Great. That's very good.
And bye to Ruben. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for playing. Hope to see you in the next one.
Yes, thank you, Ruben.
Double Quixel.
Yes,
indeed.
It's it's awesome. This is might be a bit of a slog fest here. there's not a whole lot of amber control, especially with creatures so restricted. So people just need to hope they draw into enough cards to actually gain to get to check here. Okay, Slogans discarding a Binate Rupture. Playing a Red Alert just for kicks. Yes, I'm surprised it didn't trigger the Keyforge Singularity Black Hole with 2 Quicksil Stones in close proximity to each other.
That's how you get a Binate Rupture.
Nice. Nice. Man, even mirroring each other's turns here, we've got a lab work. Discarding Binate Rupture. Is this literally the same turn? What?
Almost. Throwing away all of the cards to hopefully get something that they want to play.
It's like if anybody played the Ocarina of Time, it's like Link and Dark Link in the Water Temple. Oh man, that's funny. All right, back over to Slogans. Picking up their archive. Now, Slogans does have that Val Jericho benefit here. Discarding Binate Rupture, discarding Director. Just tossing all of these cards. Playing Battlefleet with their Val Jericho. Ability. Drawing 4. Let's see where they go from here. Hoping for some more logos. Discarding Archimedes. Discarding Igor. And let's see. The Eureka has shuffled back in, so hopefully there's been for Slogans, hopefully there's been a redraw into the Eureka. Going back over to Jose. So Slogans is a check at 6.
First check for a while.
Mm-hmm. And what's great about Slogans' setup here is that Slogans can Eureka no matter what house he calls because of Val Jericho, which is pretty sweet, I've got to say. Jose considering their house choice.
Not a whole lot that Jose can do to turn that off at the moment.
Nope.
There's no direct counter to it. Actually, no, there is a standardized testing, isn't there? So technically there is a direct counter to it, but any other counter would take at least 2 turns to get going.
Right. You have to play, I don't even know if they have a creature big enough. Maybe if Tunk is in there. Okay, Tunk would do it at 6 power, but that's a turn to play.
Well, then that'd be 3 turns. Got to unstun it and then throw it in there.
Oh, no, Tunk would come in unstunned.
Oh, Tunk's not one of the stunned ones. Shows how much I know. Or more accurately, shows how long it is since I've played any Mars.
Jose considering.
I'm interested to see where they go with Mars when they bring them back in.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they've got. Oh, sorry, go on. Keep interrupting you.
My co-host Ed has a theory that because Mars was a requirement from Richard Garfield to include, and Mars doesn't have a hugely distinct like twist on the trope that the other houses do. Ed suspects Mars might not come back.
Really?
Due to that, they might have like gotten rid of Mars and won't bring them back. But we'll see. I think an interesting way to reintegrate them like in the lore would be to the Martians like defect and you end up with Martians in all the different houses, and the house doesn't come back, but you have Mars like effects in different houses. But
in the last interview they did with, I think it was Crazy Killer Machine at the UK Games Expo online, they not necessarily say heavily hinted, but they definitely gave me the idea that they intend to bring them back, but might completely change them, give them a different focus.
Oh, sure. I feel like that's most likely, that they would bring Mars back for all the love people have for them, maybe twist them up a bit.
They didn't specifically say it, but they were talking about... somebody asked how they give Mars creatures, they're crazy names, and they were saying that basically it came from Richard Garfield, and they just sort of keep with that. But in another question, they were sort of, somebody was asking about the different themes for different houses, or I think it was why can't we have Dis and the new house? And it's basically because they fill a similar role, right? And they were saying a way they can solve that in the future is maybe Dis will not do what Dis does now, and they'll do something else. So they could definitely apply that to Mars.
Sure. Had some moves here. Jose getting their own lovely Captain Valjerico in the middle with a grabber jammer. I think that's a good spend if you are gonna, drop in another creature there. Slogans discarding
a whole bunch of stuff.
A whole bunch of Mars creatures, playing Red Alert to just try, and literally did nothing. Then Jose responding by getting to check with the Eureka. So, and keeping Slogans off. Now Slogans has their own Eureka, both at check for their second key here. Eureka's Battle of the Captain Valjericos. Discarding Felix the Disintegrator. Mars is out. Saturn is in. Need another S house.
Sure, why not?
Why not? A bunch of discards. From Slogans over to Jose. He says, "I know what's coming." That's the mirror match. Yep,
There's
Battle
the
Fleet into a Shatterstorm. Yep. Jose played the timing, was able to win the battle of just that timing, right? And able to get that second key forged. So safe from retribution. And now doing their own double Battle Fleet, like Slogans did earlier in the game. Under 8 minutes now for the match.
Triple Battle Fleet.
Oh, goodness. They picked it up on the flip.
Blimey.
There is one card in their discard pile. Yep, that's the entire deck. Because they've got 3 that were purged by Martians Make Bad Allies earlier. Jose saying they literally cannot see their cards. That'll happen. That will happen.
Hashtag Mars with problems.
And there is purging 7 cards is the Martians Make Bad Allies.
Wow.
So 7 cards for 7 amber, taking Jose up to 10.
That'll do it.
Well, we haven't spotted Slogans. Okay, depending on where Slogans his own Shatterstorm is, it's probably in the draw 23. But we also haven't seen a Battle Fleet, so if Slogans has a Battle Fleet somewhere, he might be able to enact Retribution. But we'll see. Lots of purged creatures. In fact, that should actually be all of Jose's creatures except for Grabber Jammer, Captain Valjerico, and the rest of the Mars. So that should be all all non-Mars creatures except for Captain Valjerico have been purged. With the Battle Fleet, again, just to redraw all of that. Everything in the discard pile.
Why not?
They can actually... Oh, no, at this point, they can do that as much as they want to until they hit the rule of 6.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can just play a couple cards, Battle Fleet, and pick it all up.
Yeah.
So Jose showing they understand the dynamics of the deck flip here. Very smart. Very smart play as far as how they're cycling their deck. Real intelligent. I love it. 17 amber.
Oh, and there's Forging Alliance.
And then the Forging Alliance because of the Valjerico in the middle. Brilliant.
Wow.
Brilliant move. That's just the icing on the cake. Maybe Slogans didn't have the answer, but that was, yeah. Maybe Slogans Yeah, that was
Hardcore.
just beautiful. Beautiful way to end the game there. Just combo out.
Wow. Okay. Need a moment to recover from that. Looks like after that we're left with one more game to report, and it is
All right.
Tonight and Lazaro. And there's 3 minutes left. It's 2 keys to 1.